Alright, let's talk OMAD, because OMAD can be one meal a day, or for some people it turns into one meltdown a day. And here's the issue. OMAD can absolutely help you with fat loss, but only when it's used like a tool. When it's used like punishment, that's when it backfires. So today, I'm going to break down OMAD for fat loss, the right way versus the way that backfires. And I'm going to do it from an angle most people skip. Your hormones, your nervous system, your muscles, your sleep, and your energy budget. Because fat loss isn't just about eating less. It's about your body deciding it's safe to burn stored fuel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Dr. Tony Hampton, a board-certified family and obesity medicine doctor with a master's in nutrition and functional medicine. And my goal is simple, to help you understand the root cause so you make better decisions on your health journey. All right, let's get into it. First, what OMAD does right mechanistically. When you compress your eating window, you usually get lower insulin exposure across the day, especially if you're low carb or carnivore. More time with low insulin plus higher glucagon, which tells your body, hey, we can tap into stored energy. A natural reduction in snacking, grazing, and ultra-processed calorie leaks. And if you do it consistently, many people see appetite recalibrate because they're not spiking insulin and dopamine all day long. So yes, OMAD can create a clean metabolic environment for fat loss. But here's the part people don't talk about. OMAD doesn't just shrink your eating window. It also concentrates your stress on one moment if you're doing it wrong. And your body will not burn fat efficiently if it interprets your routine as famine, threat, or chaos. Fat loss is not just a math problem. It's a does your body trust me problem. Now, let's define the right way. The right way OMAD works best when it's high protein, low stress, not too late, supported by strength training, and not paired with chronic sleep deprivation. Because OMAD isn't magic, it's a schedule. And schedules either work with physiology or they pick a fight with it. Now let's talk about the way OMAD backfires. And I'm going to give you the why behind each one. Backfire number 1. You accidentally turn OMAD into under protein, over hunger. A lot of people do OMAD and think, I ate one meal, I did the thing. But if that one meal is low protein, your body doesn't just go, cool, fat loss time. It goes, cool, where are we getting amino acids to maintain muscle, organs, enzymes, hormones, and immune function? And if you don't eat enough protein, you can end up hungrier, more snacky, more fatigued, and ironically less likely to lose fat. Here's the unique insight most people miss. Muscle is a metabolic organ. If you lose muscle while losing weight, your metabolism often slows, your strength drops, and your body becomes more efficient at surviving on less. So OMAD done wrong can create skinny fat, scale changes, and frustration. A practical target for many adults trying to lose fat is to prioritize a strong protein anchor at the meal, because protein is the macronutrient that supports lean mass and satiety. Backfire number 2. You pair OMAD with all-day caffeine, low electrolytes, and high cortisol. This is a big one. Some people wake up and go, coffee, 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 stress, meetings, chaos, and then they white-knuckle their way to dinner. By the time dinner arrives, they're not calmly eating a nourishing meal. They're hormonically sprinting into the kitchen. And the body's stress system, your adrenaline and cortisol, can do a few things. Increase cravings, disrupt sleep later, raise glucose in some people, and make your body conserve energy by lowering NEAT, which is your unconscious movement. So you think you're burning more because you're fasting, but your body quietly reduces output. That's the sneaky backfire. You don't just eat less. You move less without realizing it. Your body is always balancing a budget. Backfire number 3. Your OMAD window is too late, and you sabotage circadian fat loss. Let's talk timing. Your metabolism has a daily rhythm. Your insulin sensitivity is generally better earlier in the day than late at night. Your digestion has a rhythm. Your sleep hormones have a rhythm. When OMAD becomes one giant meal at 9:30 p.m., you can get reflux, poor sleep quality, higher next day hunger, worse cravings, and more water retention. And then people blame OMAD. No, your body is blaming the timing. A great right way strategy for many is OMAD earlier, late morning or early afternoon, or at least not right before bed. Backfire number 4. You turn OMAD into a weekly roller coaster. Some people do OMAD Monday to Thursday, but then they binge Friday night, cheat weekend, and then Monday comes with guilt and starvation again. That's not metabolic healing. That's a metabolic soap opera. Your body doesn't love unpredictability. It loves consistency and safety. If OMAD makes you feel out of control around food, that's not a discipline problem. That's your biology saying, I don't trust this pattern. Backfire number 5. You're using OMAD to outrun insulin resistance without addressing the root. Now listen, fasting can be helpful, but it can't be the only pillar. If you're doing OMAD but still only sleeping 5 hours, living on stress hormones, eating ultra-processed foods in that one meal, not strength training, and not getting sunlight or movement, then you're using OMAD like a Band-Aid on a leaky roof. And the roof is still leaking. This is where I put my root cause hat on, because that's what I do. Fat loss resistance often lives in sleep debt, chronic stress, nutrient-poor food, low muscle mass, and inflammation. OMAD can be part of the solution, but it cannot be your whole personality. Quick pause. If this is helpful so far, hit like and subscribe. My goal is to help you stop doing hard things that backfire and start doing smart things that actually work. And yes, your future self will thank you. Now, let's build the right way OMAD blueprint, the version that supports fat loss without wrecking your metabolism. Step 1. Choose OMAD for the right season of your life. OMAD is not ideal for everyone all the time. If you're dealing with burnout, severe sleep deprivation, a history of disordered eating, pregnancy or breastfeeding, or you're on medications that cause low blood sugar, OMAD may not be your best move. And if you have diabetes and you're on insulin or certain meds, do not freestyle fasting. Work with your clinician. I like bold experiments, but I like safe experiments more. Step 2. Put protein first in the meal. Your OMAD meal should be Pinterest cute. It should be physiologically complete. Here's a simple mental model. Protein anchor, then add the rest. Because when protein is sufficient, hunger calms down, cravings decrease, muscle is protected, and your body feels less threatened. Step 3. Don't let OMAD become electrolyte deprivation. Many people doing low-carb or carnivore plus OMAD lose more sodium and water. Here are some symptoms that you're under-electrolyted. Headaches, fatigue, dizziness when standing, heart palpitations, muscle cramps. Sometimes what people call fasting problems are really low sodium problems. Step 4. Pair OMAD with strength training. If you want fat loss that looks good, feels good, and lasts, you need muscle. Muscle is not just for bodybuilders. Muscle is your glucose sponge, your metabolic buffer, and your long-term independence plan. 2 to 4 days of resistance training, simple, consistent, changes the entire OMAD equation. Step 5. Watch the stress load of your fasting. Here's a unique insight. Fasting is only helpful when it lowers total stress in your body. If it increases stress through over-caffeine, undersleeping, and under-eating, your body interprets it as a threat. So the right way OMAD should feel steady, clear, calm, not frantic. Step 6. Use the 2-day test. If OMAD is working for you, you should see stable energy, stable mood, decent sleep, and you're not obsessing about food all day. If you're thinking about dinner at 9 a.m. like it's a romantic comedy, OMAD may not be your best strategy right now. Now let me give you my favorite reframe. OMAD is not a fat loss hack. It's a structure. And the structure only works if it supports adequate protein, nervous system safety, sleep, and muscle preservation. If OMAD makes you feel powerful and steady, great. If OMAD makes you feel anxious, depleted, and food obsessed, don't call that discipline. Call that data, and use the data to adjust. Because the goal isn't to suffer. The goal is to heal. And here's your takeaway. The right way OMAD is a calm, protein-forward, strength-supported, well-timed pattern that reduces insulin exposure without increasing stress. The backfire way OMAD is low protein, high cortisol, late night, inconsistent, and built on willpower instead of physiology. And if OMAD has backfired for you before, I want you to hear me clearly. You didn't fail. You ran an experiment, and now you're smarter. Before you go, If you got a little bit more time to keep learning, check out my video right here on the screen. And if you're new here, consider subscribing here. And in the comments, tell me which camp you've experienced. OMAD the right way or OMAD the way that backfires. I'll see you in the next video.